What's up guys? Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. I very much appreciate it. Today we're going to go ahead and get into a topic talk. So today we're going to go ahead and jump into the topic of getting back on track and the fear of missing out. I think this is super common in the health and fitness industry. You know, we're always falling off of our diets, like falling off the wagon and having to get back on track. And then the fear of missing out with stuff, it's like if you're on this diet and following this certain like protocol, like you're gonna miss out on like all the fun stuff in life and everything. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna dive into it right now. I wanted to talk about the getting back on track because I think there's a lot of negative kind of attitude with that whole idea of getting back on track. I never really thought about how the thought of getting back on track, how that kind of affects our thinking and our feelings and our actions and all that kind of stuff. And I tell my clients like all the time, like, oh, it's fine, like have a fun time out with your friends, you can get right back on track. Now for me, that makes sense because I live a lifestyle. But if you think about it in terms of a diet and you have to get back on track, it kind of brings along some negative thoughts and feelings like guilt, like it's some type of punishment, stuff like that. So I think the kind of solution to this is thinking about your diet and your exercise as a lifestyle. And this has been something that has completely been transformative for me. If you think about your nutrition and your exercise as a diet, you are a lot more likely to kind of fall off and like fall off the wagon and have to keep getting back on track. It's kind of like this negative cycle, like, you know, you're starting the diet and then you're doing really well, but then you have like one small little cheat thing where like, you know, you go off track in some way and then you have to get back on track and it makes it feel like a punishment to get back to that point, and it's just kind of like this cycle over and over again. But if you think about it in terms of a lifestyle, you are much less likely to fall off, and then whenever you do, let's say, kind of eat something that you normally wouldn't have or something like that, you just go back to your regular way of eating. You just go back to your normal life. So that's been something that's been super helpful to me, is to think of it in terms of a lifestyle. And if you live it out as a lifestyle and it's not like a punishment, it's not something you have to keep getting back on track, then, and you're just going back to like your life, you're just going back to normal, then it's not like this punishment thing. It's not this getting back on track with all the guilt and the punishment and all that kind of stuff. So my biggest piece of advice for getting back on track and all that kind of stuff is to just think of your nutrition and your exercise as your lifestyle. And obviously, if you're just starting it, it's gonna take some practice, it's gonna take some time to build up those habits and make it an actual lifestyle. But if you go about it in a way of thinking that, hey, this is just the way I'm like living my life, like this is habit for me, I eat these things and I don't eat these things because it makes me feel good and it doesn't make me feel good, then it's gonna be a lot easier to not fall off of your quote-unquote diet. Like it's just your way of eating, it's your way of life, and so you don't have to constantly fall off and feel negative and guilty and then punish yourself by getting back on track. In my opinion, it is super important to have a flexible way of eating and exercise and all of that, because then you're going to miss out on a lot, and that's what we're going to talk about in a second, is the fear of missing out. But I think in my opinion, it's super important to kind of be a little bit flexible. I'm following the ketogenic lifestyle right now, and that means I eat really high fat, low carb, moderate protein, and so I typically follow that type of eating throughout my days. But yesterday I had Halo Top because I really wanted ice cream. My head was hurting and I just wanted some comfort ice cream. So we went to the store, I got Halo Top, and I posted it on my Instagram, and a bunch of people were like, how can you fit that in like with your eating style? Like how does that work? And I was just like, you know, I'll make a video about it just because like I think it's important for a lot of people to hear this. But just because I'm following a certain way of eating doesn't mean that I can't add in little treats here and there. If I'm following this very strict protocol and I feel like I can't stray from it, then I'm much more likely to fall off and have those like cheats and like fall off from protocol and then have to get back on track, just like we just talked about. But I do follow that protocol pretty well, but I allow myself to have those treats whenever I really crave them, whenever I really want them, and that works for me because then I can stick to this way of eating. And whenever I do have the treat that kind of strays from the protocol, I make sure it's a smarter choice. Like Halo Top, the entire pint was 280 calories. And so it was obviously a much better choice than, let's say, like Ben & Jerry's or something like that, you know, where I really love pizza. So if I'm really craving pizza, I really want pizza, then I'll go out and have gluten-free pizza. And so there's different choices that you can make that, yes, you're straying from like your normal way of eating, but as long as you make smart choices and then just go back to your regular lifestyle, like, you're fine. And that's the way that I have to think about it, because I am very much known for being extremely strict with my eating and not allowing myself to have those foods that I really crave. So for me, it's a more sustainable lifestyle if I know I can fit those treats in if I want them, but I do stick to the ketogenic lifestyle protocol most of the time. I just allow those treats every once in a while whenever I crave them. Now on to the fear of missing out. So whenever someone is starting their fitness journey, their health journey, their weight loss journey, they typically have this fear of missing out. And that's why they give up or they don't even start, because they're like, well, if I do this, I'm not gonna be able to go hang out with my friends because I can't drink anymore, I can't eat what they're gonna eat, and so I might as well just not go. I'm gonna miss out on everything. I always tell my clients this, is that your health and fitness should fit into your life. You shouldn't let health and fitness control your life. It should be able to fit into your life and complement your life. It should not control you. Some tips on how to kind of fit fitness and health into your life and not let it control you is that you have to have a really deep core why. And I know it sounds super cliche, like, you know, everyone's like, know your why and all that kind of stuff, but it is really important to know why you are working on your health and fitness and to constantly remind yourself of that. So whenever you are, you know, making a decision of if you're gonna go out with your friends, or let's say you're out with your friends and you're making the decision between water and some high calorie drink, like, it's important to know your why and to throw that around in your head. Remember your why and base your decisions off of that. You know, I always encourage my clients, go out with your friends, enjoy your time. Be mindful though, just be mindful, think about your why, keep it in your mind, have a great time, go do it, have fun. And you know, it's super hard to kind of keep that in your mind and be mindful, but that's gonna be really, really super helpful for fitting fitness and health into your life, because you can go out and you can do things with people and be social. You just have to keep in mind your goals and why you're doing what you're doing. Another tip is to kind of bring your own treats and stuff. If you know that you're gonna be at like a social gathering, there's gonna be food, bring a veggie tray, or you know, bring a fruit tray. Like, bring something that you can have that other people can enjoy as well, and it's like a good, yummy, healthy option. Obviously you don't want to bring like something disgusting that nobody else is gonna want, but you know, bring the health into the social environment. And you know, nobody's gonna really look at you weird if you bring in a veggie tray. Like, it's veggies, it's fruits, like, those are good things. There's always gonna be healthier alternatives that you could bring to a social gathering or that you could pick at a restaurant. Like, I cannot stand the excuse that I was at a restaurant so I had to get this huge amount of disgusting, gross, calorie-dense food. There's healthy options at all restaurants, and it's totally possible to eat healthy at restaurants, so do not give that excuse. There's always healthy options or healthier options. It's just keeping that why in mind, and you know, bring that healthy option to the social gathering, pick a healthier option from the menu. There's always alternatives, and there's always ways to kind of keep that health up and still stick to your goals while still being social, while not missing out on these social events. Lastly, I just want to reiterate that you have to think of this whole health and fitness thing as a journey. Along this journey, there's always gonna be dips in the road. There's gonna be times whenever you're going great, and there's also gonna be times that you're gonna dip and go high and low. But that's part of a journey, and you know, you're not always going to be perfect, and if you think about it in terms of a journey, it takes a lot of the pressure off. So those are kind of my opinions on getting back on track and fear of missing out and this whole lifestyle being a journey and everything like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it, and I will talk to y'all soon.